Now back in October, we got the chance to play with this, the Moasure 2 Pro. This unique tool that gives you the power to measure three-dimensional space with, well, presumed accuracy, but we'll get to that in a second. It's meant to map yards, job sites, pathways, landscaping, whatever. And once you do, you can easily turn that data into measured quantities of material. You can take all the guesswork out of ordering exactly 3 inches of mulch for your complex garden bed, or the exact amount of concrete or asphalt. It even allows you to design something like a new pool and then map out its exact planned location in the middle of your yard. And all of that happens on this tiny device that you put on the end of this stick. And it seemed to work great for us, but there are a few comments on that last video complaining about accuracy. Either they didn't believe it could be accurate, or they tried one and they didn't find it to be accurate themselves. But as it turns out, there's actually a reason for these comments. The issue comes from its innovative way of tracking distance. It uses inertial sensors. That means that as I move the device from one spot to the next, the inertial sensors track that movement. It can be incredibly accurate, but it also relies on a specific technique. Now, Moasure actually goes way out of their way to teach these techniques. And we're going to go over them today and try them ourselves to see if we can get hyper-accurate measurements with just a little bit of instruction and practice. And hopefully we'll put this issue to rest. So we're going to start with the do's and the don'ts. The system is more vulnerable to mistakes over time. That's why the Moasure system leads you through a start and stop process every 6 to 8 seconds. That keeps your run short and more accurate. So that means our first do is always follow the timing instructions exactly, erring on the side of stopping more often than not enough. Do number 2, always move at a fast and steady pace. It's important that you learn to maintain a consistent, brisk walking speed when measuring. Now, number 3 is place the device gently. When pausing, set the Moasure down smoothly without any sudden movements. Over time, you'll learn to make lifting, walking, and setting down all feel like a single smooth movement. Number 4 is start and stop in the exact same spot. As you get ready to measure a closed loop, find an easily identifiable spot to start and stop at. Make sure you place the marker at the exact spot both times. Number 5 is always use the high accuracy mode. It's on by default. This mode will force more frequent pauses, which will take more time, but make your measurements more accurate. And hey, that's the goal, right? Okay, now that we got the do's, let's move on to the don'ts. It's easy to be in too much of a hurry when measuring a large area. Resist the temptation to take longer walks and fewer pauses. Those frequent stops are critical to getting it right. Okay, number 2, don't hover. Unsteady or hovering movements can confuse the sensors. You need to commit to deliberate and smooth actions. Number 3, avoid uneven surfaces. If you're forced to measure really rocky or uneven terrain, consider setting up a few temporary pavers around the perimeter to give you a solid place to measure from. Number 4, don't rush. When you move fast, you make mistakes. Always leave yourself plenty of time to focus on the job and the rhythm you learn. Hasty movements can lead to inaccurate readings, trust me. Number 5, don't bump anything. Bumping into a barrier or even hitting the ground too hard can mess up perfectly accurate measurements. So be aware of your surroundings and practice your takeoffs and landings. Now that we know the tricks, we're going to try them out right here on this parking lot. On our first pass, we're going to measure this parking lot and its entry. We're going to ignore the guide and stop when we want to. We're not going to be careful to start and stop smoothly. We're going to be in a bit of a hurry. Let's go. As you can see, my start and end point are still 4.3 feet apart. That's because I was in a bit of a rush. I went a little too long 2 times, a little too short others. I just didn't take my time to apply all the things I learned. On this next pass, I'm going to apply all the tricks that I learned and do it right. There we go. Look at that. It has a start-finish error of 0.2%. That's only a fifth of 1%. It's super accurate. And when we look in that 3D model, you can actually see the slope they built into this parking lot to make sure water runs out of it properly. Okay, one more thing. In our first video we published, there was a guy who left a comment who said he bought a bunch of these for his own employees and none of them could get them to work right. They all did a terrible job and he tossed them out. It got me thinking. If you've ever had an employee or you've ever been one and you had a bad day, or maybe you don't like your job. When something needs this much attention, you could really easily screw it up. So I'm gonna go measure the parking lot one more time. This time, I'm gonna be a disgruntled employee. Okay, so yeah, that went very poorly. Look at that. It thinks there's 100-foot distance between my start and my end point. What a train wreck. So yeah, you need to not only learn how to use this tool correctly, but you need the patience to use it correctly. Okay, so what did we actually learn here? The Moasure 2 Pro is a powerful tool, okay? But like any instrument, its effectiveness depends on how you actually use it. By following the do's and avoiding the don'ts, you can ensure that your measurements are as accurate as possible. Over on their website at Moasure.com, they have dozens of detailed testimonials from tradespeople all over the world. They're using Moasure to absolutely change the way they design, plan, and sell. If you could benefit from the ability to measure irregular spaces outside accurately, you owe it to yourself to give Moasure 2 Pro a try. They offer a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Now, to learn more, you can find a link in our description, and if you use code X8Tools, you can save 20 bucks off your purchase. So would a tool like this make a difference on your job? If so, I hope you leave a comment and share it with us. All right, that's it for today. Don't forget to join me and Sarah every Friday for the Tool Show. I'll see you then.